Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Stephen Jones talks Trey Lance, Mike McCarthy's status and more. With one game left in the 2024 season, the Cowboys have a lot of decisions to make, both heading into their Sunday matchup against the Commanders and into a high-stakes offseason. Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones went on 105.3 The Fan Monday morning to dive into several important topics that lie ahead. The Cowboys' Week 18 quarterback situation. Let's start with the present. After a game that saw 2 interceptions from Cooper Rush and 4 turnovers from the offense as a whole, Sunday's 41-7 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles was a big step back in comparison to recent weeks. That prompts a question that has come up a lot since Dak Prescott was ruled out for the year. After already being eliminated from playoff contention, is now the time to start Trey Lance and see what he offers at quarterback? We're wanting to finish strong against Washington, and we'll look at that situation this week and see where we go from there, Jones told 105.3 The Fan. I know we'll be sitting down with Mike Monday. That's a change of tone in what Jones and the organization have said in recent weeks, that Cooper Rush gives them the best chance to win at the quarterback position, and that's why he earned the start for Dallas. But the 2 interceptions on Sunday were clearly not up to standard. Definitely decisions that we'll look at. It's not where we wanted to be there for sure. Head coach Mike McCarthy said of Rush's second interception, which was overthrown into triple coverage. Jones wants Jordan Lewis back, and also wants to construct a winning roster around Dak, CD, and Micah. Now, to the future. Retaining soon-to-be free agents and Mike McCarthy's coaching status are 2 of the largest items on the docket for Jones and the front office in the offseason, and one of the key free agents in the conversation to return is cornerback Jordan Lewis. It's clear that Jones and the Cowboys want him back. Jordan's just an uber competitor, Jones said. He's a guy who's out of contract, obviously a guy that we want to have back on this football team. Lewis, who has played some of the best football of his career in 2024, joins players like Osa Odigizua, Zach Martin and others who have contributed mightily for the Cowboys with expiring contracts heading into the offseason. Part of the challenge in 2024 was being riddled with injuries, and now another challenge will be finding a way to financially build a roster around Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons that can win championships. We have over 50% of our cap on IR, and those things, when they hit, and hit at the wrong time, it makes for a challenge for a team, Jones said. We're constantly looking at ways to look at our salary cap to give us the best opportunity with players like Dak, CD, and Micah. Mike McCarthy's status. Last, but certainly not least, comes Mike McCarthy. With his contract also expiring after the conclusion of the season, Jones and the front office need to decide if they've seen enough to bring him back. Even in a losing season in 2024, Jones feels that McCarthy has handled the season well given the cards he was dealt. I think Mike's done a great job considering the challenges that we've had, and Mike Zimmer the same way. It's been a new group out there, Jones said. I think Mike's done a good job of getting the guys prepared. Reports have swirled that should the Cowboys not retain McCarthy as their head coach, multiple NFL teams would be interested in his services. That doesn't come as a shock to Jones at all. It doesn't surprise me a bit. Mike's an established head coach in this league. He's won a Super Bowl championship, he's been to multiple championship games, Jones said. Doesn't surprise me a bit that there'd be interest in Mike McCarthy. Knowing that interest for McCarthy is there, does it play a role in the Cowboys' decision on whether to retain him? We'll address all this after the Commanders game, Jones said. The final whistle on Sunday's game against Washington will mark the end of the 2024 season, but the start of building towards an improved 2025 season, something that everyone in the organization knows will need some work. We'll start that after we play the Commanders, Jones said. We'll go to work, we'll roll up our sleeves, we'll evaluate the season in full and as a whole, full body of work, where we can be better from a personnel standpoint and trying to create depth. Cowboys legend calls for team to move on from Mike McCarthy. Before the 2024 NFL season began, the Dallas Cowboys franchise set out to prove that it could advance deep in the playoffs. Head coach Mike McCarthy was on the hot seat, but there were assurances that he would right the ship and remain long-term. With 1 week remaining in the season, the team is 7-9 and the alarm bells are ringing loud enough to wake the dead. In mid-November, the organization was barely on life support with a 3-7 record. Then, Dallas won 4 of its next 5 to give fans hope for a possible playoff berth. Of course, that was before the Cowboys gave up 41 points to the Philadelphia Eagles this past weekend, proving yet again that America's team is in dire need of a change. On Monday, former Dallas great Michael Irvin appeared on the Herd with Colin Cowherd and gave his 2 cents. During one point in the segment, Cowherd asked Irvin if he would replace McCarthy and, as expected, the Hall of Fame receiver was brutally honest. "Yes, I would," said Irvin. "Yes, I would. I just think it's time to go in another direction." Irvin addressed those who think the coach deserves to stay another year because of the recent win streak. "I'm not on that bandwagon," Irvin said. "What I believe is, the team needs more discipline. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy is not a good coach, but I think the team needs more discipline." This year, in particular, the organization has been beset by several off-the-field distractions, including bickering among players and owner Jerry Jones's constant meddling of the roster. The distractions have caused former players, such as Irvin and former quarterback Troy Aikman, to call for more discipline and structure within the team. What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel. See you later.